Hey, what's up? My name is Jeremy Scott, and I finally got a webcam set up for my computer, which is awesome. Um, I've never done this before, so let's see how it goes. I thought I'd introduce myself as an aspiring game developer, and so for this video, the very first thing I'm going to do is go through my GitHub and show you some of the projects I've been working on. It's a little bit after 1 a.m. My voice is shot. I've tried to record a bunch of videos already, and this is going to be my last attempt before I force myself to go to sleep. I got to work tomorrow. Alright, so first off is Ball Panic. I am enrolled, or was enrolled, in a game online on Udemy where we made 6 2D games. Technically we made 5 2D games because the first one was just a number guessing game, but after that we made 6 games. I think I only posted 3 of them here. This is the last one. It's my favorite one. You can see it on the Play Store. Check it out. There's the link. You can't search for it yet on the Play Store, but if you have the link, you can download it and try it out. It works great. One thing to note is that, like you might say, like, oh, well, if you're just following a course, how do we know you have the skills? There were so many problems with the course. First of all, it was for an older platform, and so a lot of things were outdated on both the language and the platform itself. So, I had to do a lot more learning, and then there were a lot of things broken anyway because he would sometimes skip over important parts, and you could see that through all the Q&A. There's like things that he just completely missed, and we'd have to figure out on our own. This particular game, I designed 40 levels from scratch, which was really cool. Made adjustments to a lot of the sprites, and yeah, so I made it smoother, a lot smoother, to run around and shoot, and also when the level ends in the course, there's this like collectible that drops down from the top of the screen that you might not get because he sets it to a timer, and so I changed that so that when you get the collectible, it automatically ends that level and goes on to the next one. This was really fun. This is probably this is the game I made when I said I know for sure I want to be a game developer. So yeah, that's why it's at the top of my GitHub. Let's go back and take. Now the guy, I don't want to say things bad about him. He's a great teacher. I mean, his games are so big, and nobody's perfect, and he does a good job answering questions when he does answer them. Doesn't always answer them because there's so many, and he's got a lot of courses. Anyway, so another passion of mine is art, but I'm not like educated. I'm not like an art major. I never really studied. This is just like high-tech doodling. So here's my favorite one. This Colorverse series that I just did in the last month or so on Twisted Brush platform. Sort of like developing my own style here with fractal art. This is my favorite one. I don't know why. I mean, this one is pretty intense, but I don't know, this one just seems more beautiful. And I learned how to draw or how to paint curtains on my own. Psychedelic Mr. Frog. I don't know, I thought that was cool. It's like maybe, like, I don't know, like a thumbprint of color. And this was the first painting I did ever in Twisted Brush. I was just playing around with all the different, brushes and made this. No purpose, no reason. I guess these are flames down here. It's like a flaming eye. There's a tree on it. Maybe there's like a little golden energy snake spiraling around all the branches. This is my, what do you call it? Signature, I guess? I don't know. Artists have a word for it. Was it emblem or mark? Wow. Anyway, so that's a J and an S, and my middle name is an A. So you can see right there, it looks like a little A. So J-A-S. These are my initials. This was pretty. I thought I'd showcase that. This is my attempt at drawing or painting the ocean, and you can see it as maybe 2 suns, or what my original goal was, just like a time-lapse fireball starting over here and about to destroy the Earth. Right? Just kidding, I don't know. I just painted and then I came up with the reason later. This wood texture here is from a drawing course I took online that very recently. this fox here was not part of the course. I just said, I'm going to draw a fox, and then I Googled fox and found one that looked like, I don't know, like a nice little fox, and just drew that. This wall was part of the course. This apple was part of the course. This is my favorite still life that I did. I think I did a really good job capturing the apple for how little experience I have. This was one of the characters in the character design section of that course. His little parrot. You can see we did like a grid thing, so we made grid marks over the parrot image, and then we just did each little box one by one to try to get it as accurate as possible. And then that's yeah, my wife and kid right there. Found a picture of them, and you know, I think they're very pretty, so I decided to finish the course by drawing this and posting it. And now, you know, part of the course is like, if you want to be a good artist, you need to do hundreds and hundreds of paintings or drawings, but I don't have that kind of time. The course was really just to prove to myself that if I need to become an artist for any reason, I have the ability to. Like I said, I mean, these are my doodles, and they're pretty good, I think. They're fun to look at. I do not do drugs at all. Long time ago, more than 10 years ago I did, but I've been clean for a really long time. Here is a beautiful gradient art generator that I'm just going to show you. I made this in JavaScript before ooh, hey, that's a nice one. Before I learned WebGL. Yeah, so this is just in JavaScript after I learned how to work the canvas. Every time you reload the page, you get another piece of work. Most of the time it's pretty, sometimes it's not. Most of the time it is. If you really like it, you should save it because you'll never see it again. Let's just check out a couple more of those. I don't like that one. That one's okay. But basically what I have here is that it generates the top left corner first, and then it flips it and puts it over here, and then it flips that and puts that over here, and then it flips this and puts it over here. And there you go. So now you could like tile them on your desktop and see what they look like. Cool, let's move on. These are just like, this was like a screenshot of my folder where I saved a ton of them. This is all the ones that I liked. Moving on. So Wild Dead Runner was the third. This was the third game in the 2D Unity course that I took online. This one has ads in it after every 6 deaths, maybe, or something. That's on the Google Play Store. Has leaderboards. Works pretty fun, or works pretty well. Don't touch the zombies, you'll die. The physics on all of these other parts are kind of random, so it makes it a little more fun. You'll be slipping and sliding all over the place. This was a Flappy Bird clone. This was the second game we did in that course. And a memory game. It's like the fourth game we did in the course. Maybe fifth? I don't remember. This is Jack the Giant. This was the first game after the Guess the Number game. Looks like 2 of 6. Okay. But I didn't put a picture or anything about it. You're just Jack the Giant. You just, you know, falling down on clouds, trying not to jump on the dark cloud, collecting coins. So like the first 2D game that I made, and it was cool. But I wasn't into it, so I stopped for several months. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to follow through with courses I pay for. And so I came back and did all 6 of them. And by the end of it, that's when I realized I really want to be a game developer. So Kill the Sun was a 3JS project. 3JS is a WebGL framework, and I made this when, let's see, I took a 5-hour course on Udemy. Let's take a look. And my courses, where was it? Let's see all of them. Where's 3JS? Ah, here it is. I think this was 5 hours. Let's take a look. 5.5 hours. 57 lectures, real short lectures, and let's see. So basically, it was real basic, you know, like setting up environments, learning about geometries. Geometry is basically, well, each object is a mesh. You have a mesh will have geometry and what was it, a texture, I think. You know, working with materials, lights, cameras, but there wasn't a lot of like. Mouse picking ray object. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of like game stuff. It was just sort of like, you know, rendering in the web browser. So WebGL allows you to use your computer's graphics card in the web browser, and I have an Alienware Aurora. It's got a great graphics card. I think it has 2 great graphics cards in it. So after that, I was like, man, this was fun, but I want to do something bigger. So what I did was I developed a first-person shooter controls from scratch. Let me just show you. And made like this simple first-person shooter game where you run around, you jump on these platforms, and you try to shoot the sun. So let's go ahead and open that. Actually, I think I have it open in another browser. Let me see. Here it is. Alright, check it out. We're running around. See how like, you can kind of see that there's like a little up and down bob to sort of simulate the walk. If I hold shift, I run a little faster. This ground allows shadows to be cast on it from the blocks in the sun. There's a specific number of blocks that are randomly generated at the beginning of the game, and then they sort of jitter forward, back, left, and right to sort of space out. When you... Here, let's unmute it. There's some background music. That's sort of like a space ambient background that I really liked. We've got a skybox out here. Found a generator to generate random skyboxes, and then learned how to incorporate that in WebGL. This is definitely not in the course. Figured that on my own. I developed the collision detection on my own for jumping on these boxes, shooting the sun. You can shoot 6 cannons at once. And every time you shoot the sun, you can end up jumping a little higher. These boxes are allowed to go a little bit higher. The sun goes a little bit higher. And since there's the same number of boxes, the longer you play the game, the more spaced out they get. I played it to like 100 or 200 kills once, and I was like falling for miles and jumping for miles, and you know, eventually you jump higher than the sun, and so you like pass it, and you have to sort of like time it on your way back down to continue hitting it. And so it gets a little more and more challenging the longer you play. This was a really fun project. All of these boxes randomly change colors. I'm just testing the graphics card. Really, this was a graphics card test and making a first-person shooter from scratch. Now, there's no player body. This is just the camera running around. So, like, when I shoot the cannon, its starting point is just at the camera center, and the cannon's just I don't know. Do I have gravity? Cannons, I don't remember. Yep, I have gravity on the cannons, just a little bit. Okay, and yeah, that's about it for this, I believe. And that was really fun. So, oh, you know what? I should show you some of the code. Down here is all the different JavaScript-like key codes that I might ever use. I'll just copy and paste those for other projects in the future. Some event listeners. Different toggles in the main loop on, you know, if I'm going to be moving around or not. Yeah, this is all in one file. Here's the code for creating a ball, creating the sun and the lights and the ground and the random boxes, and what to do with the mouse when the mouse moves. And yeah, so that you need this package right here, 3.min.js. But here's the thing, I'm not going to do any more 3JS projects because I found out that Unity has a... Oops, not build and run. Let's see, build settings. I can actually port this to WebGL. So I can make games in Unity, which is a lot easier and a lot more fun and well organized, and you know, and then just port them to WebGL. So far I've made 6 games for Android. Could just as easily port them to iOS or the PC. I mean, there's no reason to make a game outside of something like Unity or Unreal. So I'm going to stick with Unity, and in my game developer career search, I'm going to try to find a job where I can develop in Unity. But anyway, I just want to show you that that's just what I do. This is what I do. This is what I love. I got real excited about it. I could see myself doing this forever. I've also done a lot of 3D modeling, but none of it's on my GitHub yet. I'm taking a Blender course, and that was really fun. But it's been so many months that I'm gonna start over again, because the next project in it is to create all the like all the things in the room, like all of the different things that could be in a room. So I have to furnish it and texture it and do all this stuff. And I went back to Blender after doing Unity and realized, whoa, I barely remember how to move around. So, if you don't use it, you lose it. You got to keep using it. And I'm afraid that if I just keep learning by myself all the time, I'm not going to stay warm with all the habits. So I really want a job in game development. Okay, let's go back to my repos. And let's see what else. So I showed you the art generator, I showed you Wild Dead Runner, the memory game, Jack the Giant, Kill the Sun. This was, I should just delete this, guess the number. This was stupid. It's just you literally just guess a number, and if you know how to, if you understand your powers of 2, you can always guess the number. And like if it's like 128, you can guess it in like 6 or 7 tries. I'm just gonna delete this one right now because it's stupid. 1 second. Sorry, I'll probably just cut this part out of the video. I might not cut it. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. There's software that can listen to a user typing on their keyboard and figure out what keys they've pressed. So that's why I said blah, 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 blah while I was doing that. I don't think any of you would be so heinous. Back. Okay, here we are. Now, Cryptopia and Trade Satoshi are cryptocurrency trading platforms online that I made robots for. The Trade Satoshi owner came to me after finding out about robots I made for Cryptopia, and paid me to write robots for here to try to attract customers to his platform. So the robots are not open source, so I'm not going to share those ever, but the framework, the API framework I wrote that everybody likes is here. I think it's been forked and starred by quite a few people. Let's see. Oh, forked 4 times, okay. And starred twice. Cryptopia has been starred 6 times. Here's 3 of my robots I made for Cryptopia. You can read about them in my Google Docs. This website here, Volatronics, I made this because people were decompiling my Python programs, and I decided I wanted to make a SaaS app. So there's a full stack SaaS app running PHP, MySQL. Here the user would add an account and fill in this stuff. If you look at the PowerPoint presentation, which I'm not going to open now, it would show you exactly what to do. I've got a community chat room that hundreds and hundreds of users have been to download my older programs, and you see what I'm doing. This was a referral link to open a trading account so I can make more money. But Cryptopia, look how sad this is. It's so sad. They got hacked. All my funds on there are inaccessible and maybe stolen. Whereas I believe Trade Satoshi is still active. Yep, they're still active. But I'm done with crypto. I'm not going to be trading anymore. I mean, if Cryptopia comes back and my money's still there, I'll hop on here and let the trader continue. I go to start trading. My username and password. I would have to enter my API keys in here and my API secret so that I could communicate with my account or communicate with their server for my account and trade for me. I don't know, you could retrieve the... Oh, let's do a growth report. There we go. The last time I restarted this, Electronium got 13 trades. The coin amount grew 14%. The base amount grew minus 12%. The non-biased growth was 1.66. That's cool. So the average market price change was down 13%. But yeah, well, maybe I will show you the PowerPoint so you can understand Volatronics. I don't know, I probably cut a lot out of this video. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just let you see the whole thing. It'd be cool if there was a video app where when you stop talking for more than 2 seconds, it automatically cut everything in the middle out, like all the silent time. That would be a cool idea. Maybe it already exists. Don't know how I would search for that though. Okay, there's Volatronics Equilibrium. Let's give you the full. Is it this one? Yeah, the full presentation. Mathematical guarantee for growing wealth, and it works. Presentation structure, the initial setup, the allocation configuration. This basically runs you through how to set up the JSON. And this is like on the Cryptopia website to show you. This is like where you would do manual trades, and it's telling you to. The very first thing you do is a manual trade. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. I'm just going to go through it, and if you feel like pausing, you can do that. But it teaches you how to use the web app. Oh, this is proof that I don't store your keys. This is the database of all the different, people and their. So the database only stores the JSON for the trading robot for that person's account. But you see, this password is a hash. It's a one-way hash. There's no way I can reverse engineer that, and I don't store API keys or secrets, because I am honest and I'm not a thief, and I hate everybody who is. Oh yeah, this is a lesson on growth. This is kind of the main point. If you remove your bias towards one currency or the other, you can imagine that you've got like a basket full of balls, of blue and red balls, and there's a way that no matter which way the price goes, you always trade against the direction in bias growth. So if people are preferring to value one currency more higher than the other one, you buy the other one, right? You go against the trend. Somebody at MIT wrote something called Shannon's Demon, which is a similar idea to this that someone told me about later after I programmed this, and I went on and I checked it out and was like, wow, this guy really missed out because he didn't think deeply enough about it. Because we can absolutely guarantee growth on the condition that the stock or the currencies don't stop existing. As long as there is a fluctuating price relationship, you can always grow wealth. It doesn't matter if a price drops 99% and then wiggles up and down 1% of its original level. You can. This is the way to grow wealth for sure. It's just slower, and most people don't like it slow. But the tortoise will win the race. But with cryptocurrencies, coins literally stop existing. So that's the risk. The risk is not the trading system. This is a visualizer. What the hell is this? I don't remember what this is. Oh, right, this was just an Excel simulator I made to show you equilibrium growth, which would be the sum of the growth of both types of currencies. And ultimately, this is the amount that the coin grew over time. So you can see there's not a lot of coin growth, but this is the price of the coin, and this is how much base currency was earned. So maybe the base currency might be Bitcoin, and the coin might be, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, Ethereum. And even here's a good one. So a price went up a lot and then never seemed to recover again. But look how much money. Look how, like, if this was 500 Bitcoin, that then became 2,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot. And here, the initial coin was what? Like, we've got 10,000 of them now at the end. And look, let's say the base was dollars. How much money was that? That's $11 million and tons of stock or asset or metal or coin or whatever. Right? And it's how many trades? 10,000 trades. So you see that this would be like, I don't know, maybe over 10, 20 years, but it is literally a guaranteed growth formula. You should do it with gold. You should do it with silver. You should do it with things that are here to stay. Apple's probably here to stay. Google's probably here to stay. This was proof of a similar robot that I made called Cryptometrics that actually I programmed a little bit of something to help with the timing of the trades. It's slightly different, but it's the same money allocations per trade as Volatronics, and it showed how successful it was across all of these different markets. And that's it. These are more simulators. More simulators. Cool. Alright, that's it. So that's that. That was a big project I did. I mean, you say, how come you haven't had a job for the past 2 years? Well, I've been doing DoorDash for money, and I've been doing computer science stuff on my own. Put a lot of time into this, and I'm sad that Cryptopia got hacked. It's just, that's like the last slap in the face at wake up, get a job, do something else that you're passionate about. So it's game development. Let's close those. Moving on. Rocket Roulette. This was awesome. So there's a Bitcoin casino called Bitsler that had a roulette section, and so I noticed that you could see all the users in there, and you could see what money was being placed on what color, black or red, or numbers or whatever. And I just watched the game for a long time, and I realized that, hey, the casino is going to try to take the most money. So I developed a bet against the herd strategy, turned it into a Google Chrome plugin, and I won too much. Apparently for them, less than $200 profit was enough to get me banned. But yeah, and then it was funny because I came back to it, and there was a message that popped up. It said, "Don't you think you have enough?" I was like, "Don't you think you have enough?" Okay, so I wasn't allowed to play there anymore with that IP. I could have used an IP spoofer and kept going, but I didn't do that. I wonder if they still exist. Oh, a few months later, after I made this GitHub repo, there was a message on the site saying the roulette section come back soon. So they probably realized that there might be more people like me who did the same thing. I don't know. I know my repo was forked at least once, just once probably. Is it forked once? It's forked once. Yeah, I don't know, maybe someone else got it, but yeah, it said we'll come. The roulette section come back soon. Look at there. IP address, access restricted. It's not my real IP. Allow me to enter the website. Okay. Yeah. Alright. That's funny. Well, this is totally different now. Let's see about the roulette section. Oh, I can't click on it. Can't click on it. Dang, that sucks. Okay, well, I'm not going to do it, but I'm glad they're back. Well, actually, I'm not glad they're back because they're robbers, they're thieves, they're evil. They're genius. So genius. Don't you think you have enough? Oh, there it is, yeah. But yeah, anyway. So, I can make Chrome plugins, and to automate whatever you need to do, on the web, in Chrome. It's another thing I can do. Forex system logos. I was a lot younger when I made all these robots. I know this because I did this before I went back to UCSD. Before I went back to school, I mean. And that was a long time ago, and I was not an artist, but darn, I need to put them down here so you can just scan them real fast. But this one was quintessential panacea. I don't know, I think I did research for pretty words. I found a pretty word list and just decided to put those two together. No reason. Freak was the first robot I ever made. that turned $25 into more than $1 billion in less than 2 years in the simulator, but it didn't work in real life, and that caused some problems that I had to find intelligent solutions for later. Ultimate Forex breakout, trust. I never thought about it, but if you look at it, it almost like trust is burning away, melting away. But I just added that fire because I thought it was cool. I don't remember if that was Photoshop or something else. Swing. Swing and Swing 2 are like my next favorite ones. My anti-establishment logo. Turn that pyramid thing upside down, and the eye is underground. I'm not really anti-establishment. Just thought it was cool. This was Cyborg. I found a pretty photo and gave it 4 faces. Made lasers come out of it. Intuition. Is this any good? Yeah, that one I paid for. I paid for that picture. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't pay for that picture. I paid for this picture, and then just added pure energy from one of the colors in there. And that was a pretty good robot. Swing was a pretty good robot. There's still somebody who uses it today. Moving on. So Volatronics, I thought I already talked about. Oh, this was the. I tried to make my own cryptocurrency called Volatronics based on the crypto node, and I got it working on my little Linux box, and mined I don't know, several thousand of them on my own, just to play around. No big deal. Cover cards. This was my attempt to make studying online more efficient. It's like flashcards that you can put over text, but it basically I'll just show you. Here, let's let's open this one. This was oh, it's a zip file. Hold on. Download. Open. Close. Open. I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh, cool. So basically, like, all of these black things here are cover cards. So I can try to like fill in the information, see if I know the information, right? It's just like flashcards, but on the screen, and you can highlight things too. Let me show you the that was a saved web page, so you could save the web page and it retains the functionality. That was a cool thing. I paid a friend to try to write something like this for me, and he did a decent job, but the code was a lot longer and the functionality wasn't as good, and there were these loops that like was literally like checking character by character, and I don't know, it was really inefficient. So I paid him $50, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it on my own. He's a lot better programmer now, probably, than he was back then. Let's see, the watch it in action will show you that here over on the left. You can remove the buttons when you're done, and then save the page. And cover the cards one by one. You can change your highlighter. Let's just kind of scroll forward. Kind of scroll along. Let's unmute it. Let's mute it. And there it goes. There it is in action. So I made this. And then I would teach you how to remove things from the document that you don't want by going into the inspector and just deleting the stuff you don't need from the page. So you can literally generate your own study pages, and you do it a lot faster than typing notes or writing with a pencil or making flashcards. Thought this was pretty useful. I didn't know how to market it, so I just gave it away for free. Plus, I don't know, it only works in Google Chrome, so, maybe not any point in selling something like that. I don't know if it would sell. I'm not really a business person. It's a technology I get excited about. I want to meet somebody who can help me with the business side. Anyway, so that was cover cards. And here's the HackerRank coding interview questions. So I researched some coding interview questions. They were in Python. I did the test about, looks like a year ago. and I got 100% on all of them except the very first one. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. They're all Python questions. I did pretty good. 100% on all of them except one. 83.33% of test cases on that one. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if I could take those questions today because I haven't been programming in Python for a few months, and if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Like, I got really good at Blender, and then I took the Unity courses, and while I was doing Unity, I got really good at that, but then I went back to Blender yesterday and realized, man, I'm having a hard time navigating around. So, I'm going to redo that course. But that's another reason why I need to get involved in a job where I'm constantly using the same technologies and improving on them, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And here, Python Perceptron, I programmed that's for like a machine learning class. I wonder why I didn't put other projects on here. I think I forgot my password or something. I don't know. This was from bioinformatics. What kind of stuff did we have in there? Motifs and replication. Blech. I wouldn't need to showcase that. That wasn't very interesting. Maybe it was interesting at the time, like for the class. Like, anyway. Okay, so that's it for my repositories. There's other things I'm going to add to it. I'm going to do other videos showcasing other things. I hope this was my first video. I'm sorry if I'm not a very good speaker yet, but I'm sure that the watching the video back is gonna help me with the feedback, and I'll get better at making these videos over time. But I am done deleting videos 5 seconds after I start because I don't like how I sound. I'm just gonna keep trying to stay focused and come up with more stuff, more content. Alright, take care, and open this up. I might play with like another program where I can edit these and cut out silence, and if I accidentally curse, maybe cut that curse out. I don't remember if I did for this video, but anyway, bye bye.